This is Mrs. Miller, your teacher at ELA Academy. In this grammar series video, we'll look at the different kinds of nouns. In general, nouns are pretty easy. Almost anyone can tell you that a noun is a person, place, thing, or idea. When you think about it, everything surrounding you is a noun. Anything you can see, smell, taste, touch, or hear. This is why nouns are so important. We could say this is Mr. and Mrs. Miller. Say hi to my husband. But we could also call them Jeff and Carrie, or husband and wife, or man and woman, male and female, people, tourists, English teacher and IT professional, or any number of things. We took this picture in the Garden of the Gods, but there are also other ways to identify this place. Outdoors, park, Manitou Springs, Colorado, the Rockies, the West, the United States. Again, all nouns. Things are all around us too. This was our favorite dinner in Colorado, a little Italian place in Manitou. Look at all the things in this picture. Taco pizza, salsa, mushroom ravioli, French bread, water, tea, glass, fork, knife, silverware, napkin, table. But of course, people, places, and things are the easiest nouns to understand. Ideas are not always so easy. Beauty, justice, freedom, health, intelligence, procedure. These are things you cannot take a picture of, but they are still nouns. There are many types of nouns. We won't spend a lot of time with this, and I won't even talk about all the types, but you can find more information in my blog post. Just click the link in the video description below. Whenever I talk about nouns, you'll see that I color code them blue. The first category is singular versus plural nouns. Laptop is singular, which means there is one laptop. Laptops is plural, more than one. Next is common versus proper nouns. A proper noun is the name of something which will be capitalized. So a common noun would be state, which is not capitalized, but a particular state would be Texas. That's the name of a state, so it's capitalized. Then we have count and non-count nouns. A count noun is something you can count. 1 chair, 2 chairs, 3 chairs. A non-count, you guessed it, can't be counted. 1 money, 2 monies, 3 monies. If you're a native speaker of English, that sounds really, really weird to you. And then we have concrete versus abstract nouns. Concrete nouns, remember, are the easy ones. We can see, hear, smell, touch, or taste them. Abstract nouns, those are the ideas. Think about democracy, or issues, or conservatism, or liberalism. You can't take pictures of those, but you can take pictures of a voting booth, or a candidate, or a ballot. But all of these are still nouns. Now, there's a special category of nouns that might just make you a little crazy. They're called verbals. Not verbs, verbals. These are words that look like verbs, and sometimes they are verbs, but sometimes they're nouns. This is where you really need to look at what the word is doing in a sentence. And then sometimes you just need to memorize it. What can I say? English is weird. The first kind of verbal is the gerund. That's a verb with ing at the end of it being used as a noun. Let's look at an example. Reading is my favorite hobby. Yes, read is usually considered a verb, but here we're talking about a hobby. What if my hobby were crossword puzzles? That would be a noun, wouldn't it? So is reading. It's a thing to do. Same in this sentence. I like reading. It's just like saying I like crossword puzzles, or I like pizza, or I like horses. Another kind of verbal is the infinitive. An infinitive is the word to plus a verb. But again, even though they look like verbs, they act like nouns. Remember the sentence, I like reading? What about I like to read? Same idea, right? That infinitive to read is acting like a noun. I like to read, I like pizza, I like horses. This last category will include, even though it'll have its own video, pronouns. Pronouns are words that replace nouns. Words like he, she, it, they, and so on. We'll look at these in more detail in the pronouns video, but for now we'll treat them like nouns. Okay, enough talking about nouns, let's find some. We're going to practice with some real-life literature. Our first selection comes from one of my favorite classic novels, Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. Dickens uses tons of great nouns in his writing, which really helps the reader to visualize the scene. This quotation describes the convict that Pip meets in Chapter 1, who turns out to have a surprising effect on Pip's life. A fearful man, all in coarse gray, with a great iron on his leg. A man with no hat, and with broken shoes, and with an old rag tied round his head. A man who had been soaked in water, and smothered in mud, and lamed by stones, and cut by flints, and stung by nettles, and torn by briars, who limped, and shivered, and glared, and growled, and whose teeth chattered in his head as he seized me by the chin. Pause the video for a few minutes and see how many nouns you can find. I'll help you check your answers when you get back. Let's see how you did. Remember what color we're using? Blue. First sentence, man, gray, iron, leg. Going on, man, hat, shoes, rag, head, man, water, mud, stones, flints, nettles, briars. And then teeth, head, he, me, and chin. You notice that we've got a couple of pronouns here. This is the man, he, and then the narrator is me. Did you get them all? Well, let's try one more. This is from President John F. Kennedy's inaugural address. Let every nation know, whether it wishes us well or ill, that we shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe, to assure the survival and the success of liberty. Okay, pause the video and see how many nouns you can find. Let's see how you did. Nation, it, and of course it is the nation. Us, the United States. We, United States, pronouns there. Price, burden, hardship, friend, foe, survival, success, and liberty. Notice that the Dickens quote included a lot of concrete nouns. Here we have many abstract ones, ideas, concepts. You can't touch a hardship or liberty, but they are still nouns. That's it for our review of nouns. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and check out the other videos in this grammar series. You can also follow me on social media and check out my blog for more resources. And if you find these videos helpful, please consider supporting ELA Academy on Patreon. This is ELA Academy.